Posted by you/anonymous cat lover 123. I don't even know where to start. Honestly, I've never been a crazy cat person, but something happened last week that I can't stop thinking about. I feel like I need to get this off my chest, and maybe someone here can make sense of it. It all started last Tuesday. I live in a small, 2-bedroom apartment in the city. I got home from work later than usual, around 10 p.m., and noticed something strange the moment I opened my door. There was a faint meowing sound. I froze. My apartment is usually silent except for the occasional hum of my fridge, so hearing a cat in there immediately made me uneasy. I don't own a cat. My neighbors know I'm allergic, and no one had mentioned anything about a stray wandering into my unit. I slowly pushed the door open, peeking inside. There, sitting on my couch, was a small gray tabby. Its fur was slightly matted, but its green eyes were bright and alert. The cat looked at me, tilted its head, and let out a soft meow, like it was expecting me. At first, I thought maybe a neighbor left it in my apartment by mistake, like somehow the cat got in through the building lobby or stairwell. But that didn't make sense. My building has a secure entry, and I'd seen no one near my door all day. I froze for a moment, unsure of what to do. The cat slowly got up and padded toward me, rubbing against my leg. I coughed from my allergy, but the cat didn't seem afraid. It just sat there, looking at me with those piercing green eyes. "Okay, you're staying here for now," I muttered, mostly to convince myself. I set up a makeshift bed on the couch with a blanket and grabbed some leftover tuna from my fridge. The cat ate ravenously, then curled up on the blanket as if it had been living there for years. I couldn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I kept thinking, how did this cat even get in? And why did it act like it belonged here? The next morning, I went to work, leaving the cat inside. I set out some water and food, just in case. When I got home that evening, the cat was gone. I panicked. I checked every corner of my apartment. Nothing. No sign of it. Then I heard the meowing again. I followed the sound to my bedroom. The door was closed, but I swear I had left it open. Inside, the cat was sitting on my bed, looking at me as if I'd been expected to arrive. That's when I started noticing the strange things. Small things at first. Objects slightly moved from where I remembered leaving them, a faint smell of wet grass, and scratches on my bedroom wall. Not claw marks from furniture, but shallow, deliberate scratches, almost like someone or something had been trying to write. I told myself I was imagining it. Cats scratch. That's normal. But something about the pattern felt deliberate, like it was trying to communicate. Over the next few days, things got weirder. The cat started following me everywhere. Not just around my apartment, but even when I left the door unlocked. I'd return from work, and it would be there, sitting on my windowsill or by my front door. Sometimes I'd hear scratching at my door at night, but when I looked, nothing was there. Then came the knocking. It was faint at first, just a tap-tap at my front door late at night. I thought maybe it was a neighbor or a package delivery, but there was never anyone there. And the cat, it would stare at the door, its tail twitching, ears flat, like it was waiting. A few nights later, I woke up to a loud crash in the kitchen. I grabbed my phone and flashlight, ready to call the police if someone had broken in. But when I entered the kitchen, there was nothing, except the cat, sitting calmly in the middle of the floor, staring at the wall. That's when I noticed it. There were scratches, deep scratches, forming words on the wall. "He's watching." I froze. My hands were shaking. I blinked. The words, they weren't there before. And the scratching, it didn't look like a cat. My mind refused to accept it, but there was no other explanation. The cat looked at me, then jumped onto the counter, and that's when I noticed its eyes. They weren't green anymore. They were almost black, like bottomless pits, reflecting the light from my flashlight in a way that made my skin crawl. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the couch, holding my phone, trying to convince myself that I was hallucinating. But the scratching continued, coming from the walls, ceiling, even the vents. And the cat, it would appear wherever the noise came from, sitting there silently, watching. I finally posted in a local Lost Cats subreddit the next day, thinking maybe this was someone's pet. Found a gray tabby in my apartment. No collar. Very friendly, but I don't own a cat. Anyone missing a pet? I got a few standard replies at first, people asking for pictures, offering to help. Then one reply stood out. "Don't keep it. He's not a cat. He never belonged there. They'll come for it if you keep it." I laughed nervously, assuming it was just some troll. But the timing was weird. The username was Watcher in the Walls. That wasn't a normal Reddit account. It had 0 posts except that one. That night, I woke to a noise, louder than before. It sounded like claws scraping metal. My apartment door was slightly open. I live alone. The cat was nowhere in sight. I called its name. Silence. Then, from the vent near my ceiling, I heard it, a low, almost human-like whisper. "He's here." I ran to the vent, shining my flashlight up. Nothing. But I noticed the scratches forming again on the wall near the vent. Leave before it's too late. I packed a bag immediately and left my apartment for the night. I stayed at a friend's place, trying to convince myself I was overreacting, that maybe I'd lost my mind from stress. The next day, I returned. My apartment looked normal. No scratches. No cat. I sighed in relief. Maybe it had wandered off. Maybe it had been a stray looking for food. But then I saw it. On my bed, sleeping peacefully, was the gray tabby. No scratches. No black eyes. Just a normal, innocent cat. It purred when it saw me. I picked it up, heart racing. "Okay, I guess you're staying," I whispered. But deep down, I knew. This cat wasn't normal. And I had no idea what I'd gotten myself into. It's been a week since then. The cat, Shadow as I've started calling it, acts completely normal most of the time. But sometimes when I'm alone, I hear faint scratching, whispering, and I swear I catch a glimpse of those black eyes staring at me from the corners of my apartment. I've tried researching anything like this online. Haunted animals, poltergeist cats, cursed pets. Nothing fits exactly. Some people think it's a protective spirit. Some think it's something far worse. I don't know what to believe. All I know is this: Shadow came into my apartment for a reason. And whatever or whoever he's warning me about, I'm not sure I'm ready to find out. Found a gray tabby in my apartment that didn't belong to me. Weird, impossible things started happening. Scratches, whispering, messages on walls. The cat's eyes turned black at night, and I feel like it's warning me about something. I don't know if I should stay or leave.